People used to fucking love that motherfucker, bro. They don't like to admit it, but people used to love that nigga, bro.
People used to I found it very surprising that a lot of people got really butthurt when people were making fun of him.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's guys that have paid that do impressions of him.
Yeah.
Like dudes have been making a living off of that since 86.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what are you surprised about? He's kind of a guy that's people have been making fun of for a long time. So when he became president, everyone was gonna make fun of him.
Everyone's offended, yeah. Not everyone, but people, I guess, on that side or whatever. Do you fuck with politics at all? Are you one of those? We had a conversation the other day where, by the way, Derrick, how do you pronounce the last name? Because there's the Spanish
Fonseca.
Same shit.
Yeah, Portuguese and Spanish be the same way. Fonseca.
Yeah, same shit. Fonseca.
Yeah.
Right.
I let people say Fonseca, and
I love that. I love the way you said it though. You said it with
Fonseca
with the accent.
Yeah,
there we go. All right.
There you go, like the wine.
He's
Fonseca.
not
Vinho de Fonseca.
Yeah, he's not like a whitewash Portuguese guy. He's a real deal Portuguese.
Yeah, the
guy.
kind that say, yeah, my grandfather's Portuguese. Carai. See, I speak Portuguese. Carai. Carai. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to get this out of the way. Carai isn't a fucking word.
What is that?
It's not a word. You know what carai is? Carai is a mispronunciation, okay, of the word caraio. Caraio means fucking whatever. What the fuck, caraio?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard it the right way before. So that's
sometimes there are not dialects, but accents that pronounce it really, really fast, especially certain Azorean accents, from San Miguel, whatever. They don't really emphasize the vowel at the end, so they just be like caraio. They don't really emphasize the O.
Yeah.
Right. I hear certain dialects of Spanish, they don't emphasize certain vowels at the end or something.
The Spanish that pisses me off the most is
who's hard to understand.
It's, Colombians do this thing where they add a th to shit where there's an s.
Oh yeah.
I used to hear fucking songs that instead of saying canción, which is song, it's canción. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
That's kind of like Spanish Spain too.
I don't like that.
Like Spanish of España.
They'll do shit like
Barcelona.
that too.
Barcelona.
What the fuck is that?
That's just I guess that's OG Spanish. I
don't like that shit, bro. It's OG nothing. We're canceling that shit today, and we're canceling that shit too.
Yeah, caray. So yeah, it's the word's supposed to be carayo, or sometimes if someone's saying it really fast or with certain accents, carayo, but there's not really no emphasis. Carayo. It's just you don't really emphasize the vowel at the end. You got these guys that don't speak a damn word, but they're like, caray. Caray's not a word. Go fuck yourself. That's not a word. You know what I mean? Would you like someone coming at you? Yeah, pendero.
Oh my
pendejo.
God.
Would you want that? That'd be annoying as shit.
I'd be heated.
Don't say that.
Fuck, man.
And I knew a guy like that. I worked with a guy like that, and he tried to tell me I couldn't speak Portuguese. He's like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. My uncle says. I don't know what the fuck your uncle says. I was in the country 2 weeks ago. I fucking know. I speak it at home. I know what the word is. You're not saying a word. You're not speaking any Go to Portugal and say caray. You're going to get punched in the face because people are going to think you got a problem or you're going to blow something up. Caray. What's caray? Karate? I don't know. But yeah, caray is not a word.
That shit's all fucked up.
The right word is carayo, or if you're saying it really fast, you might not put that much O. But just know it's spelled CARALHO.
And this has been Portuguese 101 with Derrick.
Portuguese 101.
Fonseca.
Don't say CARAI. Caray. That sounds like some sort of anime. Caray. Look at Kumaha. I don't know. Puyo some Caray. I don't know.
Shit. So yes, I'm gonna keep. I'm liking this whole bringing other comics onto the show. So
it's good to be here.
We're here, man. Yo, cheers, bro.
Yeah, cheers to that.
I met you at the fucking barbershop.
Yep.
And I gave you I gave you the fade that gets you laid.
The fade that gets you
look
laid.
Like we're both long, tan, and handsome gents, so I'm pretty sure that happens anyway. But the fade definitely helps.
It helps. It helps. I got home, and I'm just gonna say my lady really loved the haircut a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was more than just a conversation starter.
You fucking animal, you.
Yeah. Well, hey, you're the one. You're the working the magic, you know.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because I have, I make this joke all the time because when I was in high school, it was really in for a lot of white boys have that shaggy hair, that shaggy skater hair. I never had that. I always had thick hair, thick hair.
You always had shorter hair.
Short, thick hair, yeah. Because I can't grow my hair out. If it gets to a certain length, I just look like I murdered a puppy mill or something. I just look like a murderer. I'm
You're
sorry.
keeping it a buck.
Murder's coming
Just
in.
like some motherfuckers shouldn't have just straight mustaches.
I got a cowlick, right? Like is that the cowlick?
Yeah,
cowlick. That's how you say it. Yeah. I got a cowlick. So when it gets too long, that's it. I just look like a serial killer. So I can only I can do it up to the point where I can still style it. When it's too long, it just doesn't work anymore. But the good thing is I used to be like, man, look at these guys and grow their hair out and look fresh. Now those guys were like bald by 24.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have this thick hair till like I'm like 62.
Good for you, because I'm bald as shit. You can't see it because I'm always wearing a hat, but I'm bald.
Yeah, but you got the hair coming out the front though. You got that scoop.
It's some catfish shit. Bitches do it, so I'm like, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna do it better.
But it's there. It's there.
Yeah.
You're not LeBroning it. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not. I'm most certainly not LeBroning. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you got like little injections now and shit. You could do that. You can go to fucking Turkey and I think it's Istanbul.
Istanbul in Turkey, yeah.
They do the little implants and shit. I will not support Turkey because my son's half Armenian and there's like a genocide thing
yes,
with that.
yeah,
So I'm
big thing with that.
Not doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I asked you, and I do this all the time. I fucking lose my train of thought because I'm fucking stupid.
That's what we do.
Politics. You don't get into politics like that.
So I do. I don't like talking about it with most people because like I have views on shit and things because most people are like they will shoehorn you into a category.
Yes.
Or whatever the fuck, like, you know, like I mean I can give two examples where like, you know, where like two people on opposite sides of the thing would freak out. So like I could be like, hey, I own a gun. And people would be like, so you think everyone should be walking around machine guns and kids are getting shot? I didn't say anything about your kids should be going to school with heat to defend themselves. I'm just saying I own a gun. I think crazy people shouldn't have them either. I'm just saying not everyone that owns a gun's a psychopath. There's a lot of people that are just like real chill. They happen to own a gun.
Yeah.
Likewise, I could be like, hey, man, like, someone shouldn't be worried about getting pulled over just because of the color of the skin. You fucking hate the cops. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I never said anything about your uncle who got shot. I didn't say anything about that. I'm just saying, like, I would like if we can all just kind of be a little more like.
It's because the world is so extreme with like both sides that if you say one thing, they're gonna assume.
Yeah.
Because that's the norm. Like you're either one thing or the other, and then there's people. It's usually. Would you say like? When I'm in the community and even when I listen to other comics podcasts and stuff like that, like I want to say like not 80 to 90% of comics are like us where their views are all over the place. They're down the middle. They're not.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say? Like,
yeah, I mean, obviously, like as a disclaimer, obvious here. I mean, racism's bullshit. I don't care about your sexual orientations or anything like that. We shouldn't, everyone should be free to be who they are without being discriminated against or hated on for that type of thing. But like then people just like they start trying to find things about you and they'll try and chip at that and use that to throw you onto like a side of the table when you never said you had anything to do with anything like that.
Nah.
And that's where it becomes a problem. And that's where I was like, I don't like to talk about even if like they share a view with me on something. Like I'm afraid like whatever, they'll get way too crazy with it real quick. Like
I'm the same way about the gun shit, but then like
I don't bring up guns with some friends that like guns. Some because some of those people they'll go way too far.
Yeah.
They'll go way too far. They'll be like, "Oh, no, fucking, whatever. They're trying to fucking whatever. Government's going to try and kill you and they're going to fucking it's like, "Damn, bro, like, I like guns, but you're fucking
you're wildin'.
Yeah, they'll just drone strike your house if they want you dead that bad."
Oh, yeah.
Like
that's a fact.
They're not hunting you down, bro.
Nah.
You're not holding off a SEAL team or something. Like it's but all sorts of shit. Like people just, you can't talk about some things with people because they get really extreme. I had a student loan. I paid off my student loan. But like if I was like, hey man, like that industry is kind of like bullshit when you start looking into business, like, yeah, you fucking communist, you fuck. I didn't say nothing about.
Mad people were heated about like the student loan forgiveness. Like,
that was a thing too, right? Yeah,
people were fucking.
I didn't read into it because like I don't have one, but like
who gives a fuck? Like, less people have debt. Oh well, it's gonna make everything go up, and like everything is contributing to inflation and all this other shit.
Yeah, but and I mean, you know what? Valid concern, but. How much other stupid shit that maybe we shouldn't spend money on are we spending money on,
That's a fact. I mean, how many OnlyFans subscriptions do we have? How much do we fucking buy weed? How much do we buy alcohol? Like,
Or like
we're gonna be fucking pocket watching.
And the thing of the government in
day.
general, it's like there's stupid shit the government spends money on that's way dumber than that.
That's a fact.
So it's like, you know, and then just all sorts of dumb shit. So I don't think it's the way I see it is like if the people are like the taxpayers, they're getting a little fucking kickback. Whatever, man. Some people, you know, I don't know. I'm afraid I'm gonna say the wrong thing. Someone's gonna hear this and come kill us right now.
Oh, no, this is the podcast. This is the podcast to do it on, honestly. I've been waiting. I'm like 91, 92 episodes deep. I've been waiting to get canceled, honestly.
Oh, all right, cool.
I feel like that's kind of a cool thing. I mean, it depends on what you get canceled for, but I feel like sometimes it's like for dumb shit.
Oh, people try and cancel people for all sorts of shit.
So I kind of want to go to the graveyard for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not there. We're not there yet, though.
Sometimes they try and cancel people that are already like proven assholes. It's like, yeah, what about it? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't.
You know what's surprising, for example? The R. Kelly shit. Like, when people were wilding out about that, and maybe it's because there was a documentary that came out that shed, like, more light on it, but it's like, the nigga pissed on women.
Yeah, like the crazy thing about that. Yeah, not only everyone know that, Dave Chappelle made a song in 2003 about it.
Yes.
So, like, I was a kid, and I knew the song, I'm gonna piss on you, and I knew that R. Kelly was a creep. And people are like, did you know R. Kelly was a creep? Why, yes.
Yeah.
I've known that for a couple decades now. Maybe someone should do something about it because I'm sure we both agree, not cool. But, you know.
You still listen to him, though?
You want me to post? You want me to, like, share shit about it? It's like, dude, what the fuck?
He's not answering me. He doesn't want to answer that question.
Do I still listen to him?
In the shower?
Not really, no.
No?
You know,
asshole.
Plus knowing that he's kind of like, I don't know, knowing that he was like messing around with like really young girls, bump and grind doesn't sound the same way.
That's true. Yes.
My mind's telling me no. You should listen to your mind.
Yeah,
listen to your mind, R. Kelly. She's 15. She has braces. You need to walk away.
To be fair, the only thing I listen to from R. Kelly now is when I decide to like get really fucking high or drunk and I watch the Trapped in the Closet series. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Rosie,
like what were they?
Nosy neighbor.
Yeah.
And then it just ends, and you're like, "What the fuck
bro?" And they went on for a minute.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna pull out my gun. Like, oh man,
the little midgets and shit.
That was wild. That was crazy. I don't know what that was. And everyone just accepted like that was normal. And I liked how MTV would like play like just one music video of the series. So you got no context.
Yeah, you got a fucking
it's like part 2.
Yeah. You're right in the middle of it. You're like, yo, that next that's how it was when I was little actually. Yeah. They played one and then I'm like, "Oh shit, I got to watch the rest." And then you end up going down a rabbit hole on the internet.
Oh yeah,
watching looking for all of them. I was downloading the shits on LimeWire. Remember that?
Oh, LimeWire, yeah. No matter what song you put in, porn always came up.
Yep. Got a couple fucking ass whoopings for that one.
Yep, that was a hard one.
My Dominican mother, man. Oh, let me not say the fucking Dominican thing on here anymore. Is there anything that Portuguese men are known for? Like bad things?
You know what's wild? Because
some women think all men cheat, but I was just curious.
Yeah, I think that's just a personality type. I hate when people say one person because that's, you know, oh, people of this ethnicity or that cheat. It's like, no, man, it's a personality type thing.
Yeah.
Like I know quite a few women who have dated firefighters and they've all been cheated on. Why? I don't know. Is it like a character trait that like people that are fire? Yeah, apparently mad firefighters cheat on their women. I don't know what it is.
Do they do it at the fire stations?
I have no idea.
That's crazy.
I got no idea, but it's a thing. It's a thing. And before any firefighters get offended, if you're not doing it, you're not the problem. No one's talking about you. I'm just saying a lot of people.
If it
just happens.
If the shoe fits, if the boot fits, whatever the fucking case may be.
Yeah, if you're getting pissed off, if something ticked your box, right?
Now I kind of want to become like a PI.
It's like a thing. I don't know what it is.
Look
apparently,
into what's going on at these fire stations. They gotta have like little fucking nanny cams from their boss that's checking. Or maybe
who knows,
he's just at
man?
home beating his shit to his. The chief is at home beating his shit to his boys.
I know a girl who got cheated on by like he was like banging a girl at the fire academy while dating her. Wild, right?
Yo, these firefighters
are going nuts, man.
They're on fire.
Yeah. It's crazy, you know? Except my boy Matt. He's loyal. Matt, that one's for you.
Shout out to Matt, bro.
Matt Wood. Staying loyal to his lady.
Matt Wood.
Yeah, Matt Wood. He's probably laying wood, but
yeah, exactly.
But he doesn't have to put his wood anywhere else because he's a man. Good for you, Matt. This one's for you. This finished long drink. I hope your wood stays long. I'm gonna make sure you listen to this.
Oh shit, dog. Fuck.
I'm hoping he stays healthy. But so we're talking about though, nationalities having a thing.
So what are Portuguese men?
I've heard from women that like Portuguese guys are really like controlling or something like that. That's a crazy thing because like I don't know where like again. Like if we're talking about stereotypes, I don't know where you ladies are finding these Portuguese guys, but like no one in my family's like that.
Yeah.
No one. My dad's not like that. I'm not like that. My brothers aren't like that. My cousins aren't like that. Portuguese kids I grew up with are like that. It's like, oh babe, you want to go home? Yeah, just go home.
It might just be like cause you can say that about any guy from like from a foreign, I guess, if their parents are from
Like with
not
immigrant
not
parents.
from immigrant
yeah,
parents.
with immigrant parents. Yeah, I guess.
Hello.
But I find that just surprising because, like,
you can't narrow that down to because you can say the things. I've been told that about Dominicans. I've heard that about like Middle Eastern dudes.
Yeah, everybody said, but
those guys might be though a little bit. And I have Middle Eastern friends, so I can say that.
Yeah, but we're talking about dudes that were born in America, so like maybe they have immigrant parents, but they're not. And like I've heard girls say like, oh yeah, like whatever. I matched with this guy in Bumble, but he's Portuguese. I'm like, so I'm Portuguese. You hang out with me. Oh, yeah, but he's not like you. Like, he's like those other Portuguese guys that are controlling. I'm like, the fuck? I'm not controlling. Like what are those other ones that are? Like, what's the other ones that are not? It's like, shouldn't I be the standard of a Portuguese guy for you? Like, why? You know? But apparently they're out there, and they're, like, wicked controlling, and they're whatever. Some girl said, like, he didn't want her to hang out with her own friends. Like, I don't know. I was like, sounds like he's just really insecure.
Yeah, some dudes are weirdos when they're insecure. They like to.
They don't let.
I can't tell a girl what to do, man. Like that shit's just. You wanna. My philosophy is very simple. Let them fucking do what they want. If they cheat, then that's it.
When we're talking about
and found out.
Yeah, there's like a lot of paranoia. Like, and I've had a discussion about this with someone I knew before too. I told my girl this story where like there was a dude I knew who like I don't really talk to him much anymore because he moved, but like he like I remember once he's like texting me, he was like, hey, like because I like made a post with some friends on Snapchat. He's like, hey, my girl's at that bar. What's she doing? I'm like. So I gotta look for her, and I'd see her, right?
Yeah,
she's with a girl's drink. I was like, yeah, she having drinks with the girls. Oh well, like what the fuck? She didn't tell me she was going there. I'm like, I don't know, dude. And then it's just like, oh well, like blah blah all this other shit. And at some point, I just like got sick of it, and I texted him like, listen, man, if you're that paranoid she's gonna cheat on you, you need to end it.
Yeah.
Because you know,
either she's the problem or you need to figure out your shit.
Whatever your insecurity is, because people don't get it. If you're that paranoid. It's so easy. Like all you got to do is take a sick day from work. It's that easy to cheat on somebody.
Yeah.
If you're that paranoid, then you don't have that faith that you got that kind of connection with somebody.
Yeah. No,
that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. If you're that scared, if you're that paranoid, then you might as well end it. Mm-hmm. If you don't have that kind of confidence in somebody.
And even to simplify it for the, kind of the more toxic folk, honestly, and I'll be honest, like. I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican. You're Portuguese, so we could say the same thing about all of us in this room. There we go. I've definitely had like a time in my life where everyone does. I feel like you get cheated on, or some crazy shit happens in a relationship, and it kind of makes you go about things the wrong way in relationships to follow.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've had that
emotional baggage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But after that first relationship or two after, where I was treating the other person, I guess, in a way where I was always worried like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not controlling, like, don't go anywhere, but anytime they would go anywhere, I'm like, I wonder what the fuck's going on. Now I'm just like, yo, like, just fucking let the person do. I just can't wrap my head around anyone who's controlling, because it's like, yo, just the only way you're going to find out, I guess, if they're really loyal or not, if you want to look at it that way, is just let them fucking do them.
Yeah.
It's going to come up, bro. Like,
and if it does, you tell them to fuck off and you're done.
That's it.
But it's not, that's not going to change it. I don't want you going out with your friends. Yeah. Oh, that's going to stop her.
Bro, if a person's going to cheat, you can't lock them in the fucking crib, because guess what?
You'll never stop
They're not, if a person is a fucking cheater, right? If you lock them in the crib from going out with their friends and meeting you guys, they'll find a way. They will fuck your brother, your cousin, or whatever the fuck, or your dad. It might get extreme. Like, if a person's that much of a fucking scumbag or a bitch, they're gonna find a way.
Do it. They're gonna do it. There's no there's not worth it worrying about. Oh man, I got. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna try and stop them from doing it? I'm so good for now. Appreciate it. Oh, target down.
Love that.
Just as a reminder, please don't do coke in the bathroom.
Someone already did.
Yup. You also don't do it on a Rip the Bus.
Did someone do it on a Rip the Bus?
No, but I'm sure someone has and or will.
Someone did it.
And also don't do it on the Northeast Rail, the Amtrak, because if I'm trying to go to New York, I don't want to get stopped in the station while the police arrest you because you decided to do coke.
I feel like you're talking real life shit right now.
Nah, that's never happened. But I did get stuck on a...
Someone did coke here after I had that sign up.
Really?
They still did it.
Right here?
Yes.
Oh, see? Typical.
In the bathroom.
Typical. Some people, man, bad habits.
Fucking dickheads.
Bad habits. Really bad habits. I never got stopped on a train for that. But I got stopped on a train. Not me specifically. I was on a train coming back from Boston. I went to open mic. And I was coming home. And this girl got on the train. And she just decided she didn't have to pay. Like, she shouldn't have to pay. Like, she's like a hipster. Like this hipster-ass chick.
I hate those.
Like, so they were like collecting everyone's
thing. You like
thing.
those or do you hate those?
No.
Hate's a strong word, but.
Well, I dislike. Let me put this better. It's not that she was a hipster, it's that she was like so try hard and edgy.
Yeah.
What they call them a pick me girl.
Pick me girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, ooh, I'm so unique. Pick me, you know?
Yeah, okay. That
so
makes sense.
they try and ask her for a ticket, and she's like, I don't have a ticket. And they're like, all right, well, you got to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
I'm not buying a ticket. You're on a train. You have to pay, I shouldn't have to pay that. It should be free. It's like, what the fuck? Like, this sounds like something straight out of like a story that some old guy would make up.
Oh, yeah.
When he's talking about like a younger generation. They just think it's free. Like, but this girl really thought that. She's just like, no, I shouldn't have to pay for it, whatever. And I was just like, oh, like we're stuck in the station. The cops have to come and take her off the train because you won't leave. Mm-hmm. And then if they try and like, they're not going to like put their hands on her because you'd be like, ah, So she's losing her shit. And me and everybody else are just like, fuck you. Even a hobo paid, all right? He bummed a lot of fucking quarters off people, but he still paid a ticket.
Oh, fuck that. I used to hop the train.
And this girl would refuse to pay. So we had to wait for the cops to show up, all this other shit, And it's just like, can you please try and seize the means of production somewhere else? Not on this train car. Because
and this is you said the Amtrak?
This one was the Mass Rail, MBTA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, if that happened on the way to and or from New York, like on a comedy week, that would suck. That would really suck because then I'd be stuck even further from home.
You didn't see any rats over there?
Yeah, no, I did.
Oh, you did? They weren't like mutated though?
No, they weren't mutated.
What part of New York were you in again?
I was in, just to catch everybody up, I had a show in New York recently. So I was in upper part of lower Manhattan around East Village.
Okay, gotcha.
Near NYU, shit like that.
Oh, so over there, because you posted something that was like, I haven't seen like big ass rats yet.
Oh yeah, so that was we caught a train somewhere around like the top of Lower Manhattan. Mm-hmm. We grabbed the subway train. We were heading back to Newark, New Jersey.
Got it.
And I saw rats, but they weren't these chunky motherfuckers I saw last time. I mean, last time I was there, they were big boys there. They get fucking
bad. I have like PTSD still.
There were some big ones, man. They were
from
huge.
New York rats.
They looked like possums last time I was there. Yeah. I'm like, someone shoot that.
These motherfuckers, bro. There was a, you ever see very old, very cheesy horror movie called Food of the Gods? It's like it's like giant rodents and spiders and cockroaches. Like Food of the Gods literally just comes from like, the title comes from like they all pretty much went to this like leak. This leak, it was some type of fucking chemical that they went and like fed on, and they grew into these like giant rats.
Oh yeah.
And my
typical giant monster movie after that point.
Exactly. So it's very cheesy, very old, very
actually
very
I think I've seen that before. Yeah.
My dad like
old
sat
B
me down.
movie monster.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, this shit is literally New York in a nutshell. Like,
yeah.
I remember I have a very like traumatic memory of the landlord coming into the fucking crib, lifting up our couch in the living room because my mom, my grandmother did not want to show me. Like, yeah. I had no idea. This shit caught me by surprise. I'm like, I didn't even know this nigga had to come into the crib, like, for any reason. He's just coming through unannounced. I'm over here fucking eating my lunch, and he comes through. He fucking picks up the couch, and you just see this fucking rat this big.
Oh, man. Yeah, the possum rats, man.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I literally fucking dipped. Like, I'm pretty sure I spilled all my fucking mac and cheese and just just dipped into the room, bro. Like, and I was traumatized ever since.
Did they kill it?
Oh, I mean, it was already dead.
Oh, it was already dead.
There was this, like, bad smell. And the shit just got, I don't know how it was under the couch. It was all, like.
They're gross, man. I seen one, a whole wide, big New York slice of pizza just dragging it. Like, no problem. And I'm just like, oh, man.
You see videos like that all the time, and people are like, that's rigged. There's no way. No, they're untrained.
Because they just know. They
know. They're
talking about generations of rats out there doing their thing.
In New York, they're just teaching each other, like, all right, yo, so this is what you're going to do. There's this fucking spot, Joe's Pizza. You're going to go. Some fucking asshole's going to drop their pizza on the floor, and you're just going to grab it and dip.
They know it. And they're pros at it. This thing, no problem. Just, like, the thing's hanging the cheese in the front, is dragging along the ground, but his neck's strong, and he's just walking.
Yeah, bro. Like, what
fucking
the fuck?
possum. It was disgusting.
I'm traumatized. I remember one summer I come to Rhode Island, and I'm like, New York is very, especially the area that I grew up in, I knew nothing but, like, there was no white people in sight.
Yeah, okay. What part of New York did you grow up in?
Harlem.
Okay.
Harlem and Washington Heights. So it was like Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, black people. We're all together in unison. I come to Rhode Island, I start visiting my cousins. That was my first introduction to white people. Portuguese, Italian, whatever you want to call it. I always say, and this always, like, makes my Portuguese, Italian friends, like, feel, I guess, like, included or whatever. But I always say Portuguese and Italians, they're not white.
No, I know what you mean by that. I've heard that before.
Yeah, to me, it's always, I've always felt like we our cultures just have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Italians can definitely get a little Bronx Tale-ish, where they'll be like, "No, don't date the black dude." Like,
yeah, they can be a
Tony
little weird.
Soprano.
Like that. Yeah,
you know
what you doing? Marcella, what are you doing? You can't be doing that.
You can't find a guy who looks like us.
Hey,
like,
what are you doing? Sebastian Single, what are you doing? I do that shit to my girlfriend. So what? He's your
fucking cousin. Like,
who cares? He's a handsome guy. He's a handsome guy.
What the
He's
fuck?
in church every weekend. What are you doing? But no, I know what you mean. Because, like, I mean, even like, you know, I got a friend, Puerto Rican girl, right? Studied abroad in Spain. And her friends were like, you're going to go to Europe. It's going to be weird. All this other shit. They're not going to like you because you're Puerto Rican or whatever, this and that and the other. She got there, like, boom, hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Like, she got friends for life there and everything, whatever. It's like, yeah, but it's like, there's a lot of similarities. She's in Spain. She's hanging out with a bunch of Spanish people that, like, they were just getting on. She's like, we have the same sense of humor. We were, laughing about shit, whatever. She's like, the only difference was they had accents compared to her. But that was it. They got on well. I think it's a cultural thing. I definitely feel that way.
My first introduction to white people was definitely coming to visit my cousin in Rhode Island, because you never saw them in New York unless you went downtown and you saw the tourists from all over the world. But I came out here, and he had this neighbor. My cousin had this neighbor, his friend that lived across the street. I see a rat, I automatically run. I'm so traumatized by rodents from New York that if I see a mouse that's dead, not moving, I'm like, ew, fuck.
That's a different kind of rodent too, though. I feel like New York rats are different.
So I'm like, we see a rat in the street, this motherfucker wants to chase after it. I'm like, oh, this is what white people are like. This is
grab it, pick it up,
Like my first introduction to white people was like school shooter on the news, and then when I meet them in person, they're chasing rats. Like, what the fuck is going on?
School shooter on the news.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
You're like, you mean he wasn't shooting at a gang?
Yeah.
He was just shooting them?
He was just shooting.
What the fuck are white people doing?
So that's literally like when I was younger, that was my introduction to white people. On the news is like, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. So I'm like, what happened there? Is it rigged? You start getting into conspiracies, whatever. But then I meet the first white kid I meet in person, he's chasing after a rat. Yeah, let's go fucking catch it and cut it open. I'm like, what? That's literally what he said.
Everybody, like, I don't care whether you're white or not. Everyone knows a white kid like that. You could be, you grew up in the whitest neighborhood ever. You still know a kid like that. You could grow in like a white neighborhood, like country clubs and everything, like bougie as fuck. you still know a kid like that.
Yeah.
Just cut it open. Let's do that. Sometimes that kid mishandled, right? If his child's mishandled, likely to become a school shooter.
Yeah.
Likely to become a school shooter.
Yo, I'm so fucking glad you said that because I felt like an asshole one night. I'm at this girl's house, right? In front of her fucking parents. Her son, he is half white, actually Portuguese like yourself.
Okay, yeah.
And other stuff that is the white side.
Yeah.
and then he's also half black.
Yeah.
He says some shit. He's playing with his action figures and he's like maybe let's just call it, he says some shit like, I'm gonna kill all of you. This kid's like fucking 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
Sweetheart most of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's a dick, but that's little boys for you, whatever. But this is like beyond being a dick. Like this is like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna kill you or some shit like that. And I look at everyone in the room and I'm like, you guys don't find a problem with this? Like,
yeah, it's just a little violence.
He's just playing around, whatever. I'm like, yeah, well, you kind of want to make sure that he doesn't turn out like a, school shooter. And everybody in the room is like, are you fucking serious? She starts laughing. She found it hilarious. But everyone else is like, what the fuck? I'm like, I wanted to say it, but in my head, I'm thinking like, he's half white. So there's a possibility.
Usually there's some sort of fucked up mental thing that leads them to that point though. Usually there's a usually they like, all right, extremely racist,
yes,
or like they're like they fell down a rabbit hole of like conspiracy shit, so they want to kill everybody, or they're just like mentally done, like they're just mentally fucked, so they just decided to do that. But I remember like early on in life, like hearing some kids. I used to have a kid on my school bus, like in like middle school. He'd say shit like that.
I agree. There has to be some type of like background to it. But my whole thing right there was like nip it in the butt right there.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you got to tell him he can't.
Yeah, you got to do that. Yeah. There was a weird kid on my bus in middle school. He would say shit like that, like really violent shit all the time, like excessively violent shit. And
Isn't it scary when you're in school with something like that?
Yeah, and I'm just like, what's your fucking problem? Like, he was just like so weird. Like, I don't know.
You want to people like you and me, especially. I'm assuming you've been like this your whole life. I'm assuming you were a class clown. You used to roast people and get roasted. And
but I actually mostly got roasted.
I got roasted too.
That made me funnier.
That made exactly.
That was made me funnier.
So, oh my God, where'd you go to school?
I went to school in Warwick. So
in Warwick, okay.
Yeah. I went to Norwood Elementary and then Aldridge Junior High and then Pilgrim High School.
Okay.
Word. So just a normal.
When you're in school, people like that, you either want to roast them, but then you're also like, I should probably befriend this person.
Yeah, I just want to figure them out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's your deal?
Like, yo, I'm your boy.
Yeah. You know what I know what's fucked up? The running joke in school, this is going to offend some people, but it's like, I'm not saying this is my viewpoint. I'm saying this was the thing that people would fucking say was at the time while we were in school. So I graduated high school 2011-ish. And, at the time, like it's going to sound fucked up, but school shootings weren't all the rage yet. They weren't the cool thing to do yet.
Yeah.
So, like, the last one that happened, I think it was, like, a kid who was, like, I don't know, on the spectrum or something that, like, shot some people or whatever. So, I didn't say this, but there'd be kids that would say shit, like, if someone was bullying someone, they're like, yo, don't fucking do that, Like, if someone's being mean to, like, a special ed kid or autistic kid, like, don't do that. He might come in here and fucking shoot everybody, bro. You can't say shit like that.
It's true.
And I'm like,
it's true.
I like how your intention, don't make fun of them, but your reasoning is... Not don't make fun of the special kids because that's wrong, because it is wrong. It's, don't make fun of him, man. They might come in here.
Might come in here.
His dad might have a fucking AR or some shit. You come in here and fucking shoot everybody.
Yeah.
It's like good intention.
Selfish reasons.
Yes, selfish reasons.
Selfish reasons.
Not that selfish, though, to be fair, but... Yeah. We're all in the lunchroom.
I mean, it's selfless because you're looking out for the whole fucking school. Yeah. One person roasts them, fucks it up. Oh, you got a fucked up hairline. Oh, you know what else is fucked up?
Yeah.
They come like, through with it.
So I'm just like, oh, man, what the fuck? Don't be fucking mean to him, man. Let him fucking... He's got a speech impediment.
Like, yo, hey, it's me, Jim. Remember I gave you that bacon, egg, and cheese one time?
Yeah.
I didn't need to.
Hey, man, I got this bag of Doritos. Here you go, man. I'm full, bro. Yeah, you got Grand Theft Auto 4? Yeah, bro. I like Grand Theft Auto 4. I like doing the missions, though. I don't like just shooting people. I like doing the missions.
I real deal was scared of this one dude to a point where I was visiting the special ed class and got roasted for it. Like, yo, Jimmy, why are you always in the special ed class? And I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to fucking create a rapport
bond
over here.
I'm just bonding.
Oh, fuck, man.
I didn't know there was a couple special ed kids that were mad funny.
And then the special ed teacher was kind of off, too. I'm like, should he be teaching these kids?
When
This was in middle school. And this dude, I remember I went into the fucking class to, like, visit this kid, say what's up, whatever. And the teacher was, like, in the middle of giving a lecture, but the lecture was like, so, yeah, this is why you don't believe in God, and this and God is bullshit. Like literally verbatim.
Why the fuck would you do that in public
What are you doing? What are you doing? Like,
no, I know anyone. Like, and I know what people hearing this might be saying. Well, they're like, "Well, you're not supposed to preach religion in school."
You
it's like,
shouldn't.
well, yeah, but you probably doing the opposite isn't any better, right? The whole
like,
point is just don't touch that subject.
Don't touch it at all.
Leave it the fuck alone. We're all going to go to biology class. We're all going to go to history class. We're going to leave the rest of the hell alone.
Tone, I didn't like his tone. Like, I felt like he was building an alliance in the class.
Yeah. He was trying to,
You want all these niggas to go home and grab guns and come through. You're trying to create the Avengers of school shooters.
Yeah,
like,
what are you trying to do, man?
Yo. Oh, my God. School was crazy, bro.
School is crazy. You know what's a funny thing I remember from around here not so long ago? This is before, everyone got really crazy. It was, some girl that went to, I don't know if it was Cranston East or Cranston. Wasn't Cranston High School, right?
They're kind of wild.
They used to have like in some school from years ago some prayer banner God bless this school and may all receive an education, whatever. Something from years ago, mad fun. And this girl she campaigned Rosa Parks over it. She's like, this is oppressive because I'm not religious, and for unreligious people this is oppressive or whatever. And I'm just like, wow, you got a lot of things. Yeah. You got nothing else better to she was talking like she was being oppressed.
Yeah.
I'm like
what the fuck?
Yeah,
you live in Cranston.
They're just absolutely insane. They don't make anyone recite it in school, right? It's just an old thing over there. And the school just wanted to keep it not because of religious stuff or whatever. It's just because it was an old piece of the school. It's just there. You know what I mean? And not telling anyone to have a religious view or nothing like that.
Yeah.
This girl's like, it's got to go down. It's got to get burnt and take us to the White House and all this. And it's like, holy shit, you got... She wanted to be oppressed so bad. And her parents probably both made six figures, but she wanted to be oppressed so bad.
I remember going to school, middle school in Washington Heights and then high school in Harlem. It was nothing but people who were just trying to push the politics onto you. And it's like, bro, all we all care about is fucking coming here, getting the work done, going home, fucking beating my meat 3 or 4 times, and then fucking doing procrastinating homework.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Then probably beat your meat one more time.
Yeah, before I go to I don't give a fuck about who to vote for. I can't even vote. That's the shit that confused me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like that when you went to school, but they're talking to us about this shit when we can't even vote.
They were saying shit that didn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Either. Just shit if you don't like them, that means you're into kids from, I don't know, freaking orphanages getting killed. What the fuck? I don't think anyone is voting for that.
I realized at an early age, and I think that's what helped, is having a school with activists. That made me be all right, off the rip, hate politics.
Yeah.
At a young age. And now I understand it.
Yeah.
I can talk politics. I technically can talk politics with you all day. Do I want to? No.
Yeah. Do you vote? Probably don't talk about it, but do you vote?
Yeah, I vote. I don't talk about it.
I vote. I don't talk about it with nobody. Oh, I'm going to go vote. Come back. Who would you vote? Get the fuck out away from me.
You probably voted for Biden.
Yeah, they make some. You know what's funny? Same day, the last election, 2 different people. Oh, you voted for Biden, huh? And then someone else. Oh, you voted for Trump, huh? Both of them. I was like, just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
I was like, just leave
me. You got the tan skin and then the light eyes, so they're confused.
Alone. Yeah, just leave me alone. Don't look at me and assume nothing. It's just whatever. You know what I mean?
Tan skin, but light eyes.
And I'm talking about pre all this shit in general, anything, whatever. My first election was 2012. So that was McCain versus Obama.
Obama, yeah.
And no, actually, it wasn't McCain Obama. That was
it was Romney.
Yeah, Romney and Obama. But same thing that like back then,
McCain is very close.
I didn't tell anyone I was a registered voter because I was 18 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But some people did. They're like, "Who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for? What party are you going to be part of? Whatever." I was like, "This is my first election. Leave me alone, asshole."
I remember this one, and this is how you know I defend all sides. It don't matter. Like, just believe in what the fuck you want to believe in. I'm not gonna be extreme and be like, oh, because you're this, you're that.
Yeah.
There was this history teacher we had who voted for Romney at the time, and I remember he probably shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about right now. Like, just
don't
keep
say
it to yourself.
Yeah, don't say it.
He said it, and we might have said it to one person in the whole school. After that, oh, Mr. Smith is racist.
Damn, bro. They just attacked him over
like,
it.
What the fuck? Like, he would go home on the. I remember there was.
And this was pre-current era politics. It's like he probably really was just a Republican.
That's it.
That was it.
Now being a Republican means automatically, but I mean, then
by
it was
the
because,
mainstream of how it's
Yes.
portrayed.
Then it was Romney was going against Obama, so it's like, oh, why aren't you voting for Obama? And it's like he just probably has his own shit. Like, you know, unfortunately, there are certain things that belong to certain parties, I guess, like being a fucking gun owner or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Which is stupid, but
everyone gets that. And then you fast forward, you know, Romney was speaking out against Trump.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, all those people said he was the biggest piece of shit in the world. We're like, you're so brave. Oh, my God. You know what I mean? So it's just like.
But back then.
Yeah, he was the fucking biggest piece of shit in the world. Going back to like 2008 was crazy too. Like McCain versus Obama. Because like McCain's at a rally and people like, he's secretly a terrorist and he's all these things. And John McCain's like, no, he's not. He's a fine man.
Yeah.
You should vote for me, but he's a fine man. We have different views. And I'm like, wow, that would never happen today.
No,
today they'd be like, nah, he's going to destroy the country. Like, that's all it is. You know?
Yeah.
And he lost to him gracefully and all that shit. I'm like, wow, that was the last normal election.
Yo.
It was the last one, dude.
I remember watching the Obama versus Mitt Romney debate. That was a time. That was a time. There was a lot of like. There's still a lot of like.
What was the
memes and
thing?
shit that come from
Joe
that.
the plumber and shit like that.
Yeah,
I just remember I remember like every night on the news, Joe the plumber, Joe the plumber. I'm like, who the fuck is Joe the plumber?
Yeah, bro.
He's probably not even a plumber. He's probably not even a real guy.
Debates were kind of fire back then. Now they're kind of like embarrassing.
Yeah, now they're lame.
I look forward to them for comedic purposes.
Yeah.
But
They are. They're last shit. Like the last ones, I was waiting for some heat.
yeah,
And it never happened. They never came.
everything.
Shut
feels,
up, man.
Yeah.
Would
What
you
the
shut
fuck?
up? It's like, I don't blame you, bro. But
But what the fuck are we doing here? Yo.
And then Trump's like, he's doing that. No, look it up. Look it up. You know, and it just, oh my God. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I really couldn't believe what I was watching. It was insane.
Do you feel like sometimes I'm a chaotic and low? I guess you can get this vibe off me. I'm low key like I come off like a low key toxic person, but a lot of my intentions are comedic, I guess.
Yeah.
And because life is so like crazy right now, just in general, the world, I get this sense, and I don't know if you get it, where like everything is so crazy that it almost feels rigged.
Yeah.
So part of me is like, should we just throw the motherfucker back in just to see what happens? Like, you don't feel that way? Am I the only one in this room who feel like?
You know what's funny? When he got in, you know, people are like, oh, we're all fucking whatever. I was like, and like, there was a part of me that was like, maybe like he's so like out there.
Yeah.
Maybe that could somehow be a good thing. Like maybe everyone will like somehow it'll like rationalize things from then on out. Mm-hmm. And then it just got crazy. And I was like, I was wrong. I was wrong.
So I might be wrong now. Like I'm sitting here like, yo, let's just see what happens. And then,
I think that's what happens though. When something's so crazy, it does start to seem rigged or something like that against you because it seems so crazy. But then I think that's just a life experience.
It's crazy because it's not not even against me, and you could relate because we're automatically like, we're not really easily offended, but nothing ever really feels like, oh, this is against me, this is out to get me and my views or whatever. But it's like the world in general, like all the things that have happened the last couple years, like quote unquote natural, whatever. It just all these things happening at once, like it kind of gives me a sense of like are we really in this fucking like Matrix thing that like, that is glitching like
Classic
fucking
bullshit.
crazy?
Classic shit. You know what I think it is though is like you know, and I mean that's a classic meme these days, right? And the thing is though, like what I think it is nowadays we're more aware of everything that's going on than ever before.
Super.
And whether the funny thing about it is whether you want to or not.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, you're always going to try and you know, you're always going to try and create a narrative. You're trying to understand what's going on.
Of course.
You know, of what it is or this or
and
that.
It's a
and
good thing. We're super informed now that we're almost in that state of like, yeah.
But that's what creates a thing. Like it seems so insane, but like, you know, you open up like a history book, you know, and you know, and I'm not talking about like, you know, buy the books as they taught you in school. I'm just talking about like real established history, but maybe stuff that's not necessarily taught. There's some fucking crazy shit that's happened throughout history that, and I'm talking about fucking recent times, you know, we're talking about the last 60 years or whatever the hell, that you would think is made up too. Like it was absolutely fucking stupid, you know, but that was somebody's reality on the other side of the world. You didn't know about it because the world was a different place.
Right.
You know, you had a guy named Pol Pot, and I think Cambodia. I'm probably wrong, so don't quote me for it. But Southeast Asia, this guy decided, fuck it, we're gonna do year one. We're gonna restart society, and we're gonna have a communist utopia where everyone is equal. And this guy just slaughtered and killed everybody who didn't agree with it, and just tried to like redo everything, like no tech, no nothing. Eventually,
the Mayans were trying to do that too.
Eventually, he failed, and then he was just on house arrest for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
they didn't kill him, they didn't hang him. They didn't do anything. They overthrew him and is like, all right, house arrest, rest of your life. That sounds like a joke today. That sounds like a stupid movie.
Yeah.
A guy tried that. Like a dictator in the 70s or 60s. Again, I'm not 100% on it, but that was a thing that happened. Crazy shit happened. Now, like, you're always just seeing stuff, and it's on your feed, and it's on this, and you're trying to make sense of it all. And it's just like, you know, what the fuck is going on? Why is everything like? But then, if you didn't have that feed in front of you, you were just going by your life, would you still think that? Maybe not necessarily. Like, you'd be like, things are crazy here. Things are crazy where I'm at. But you wouldn't necessarily think, you know, whatever the hell's happening is happening. So I really do think that's just like I think about, you know, how much life is. Because I've had a discussion with my parents. Like, my parents are like, oh, like, you know, when Ukraine happened, they're like, oh, nothing like this has ever happened in history. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, forget, like, we don't even have to get into Afghanistan. Like, forget, like, every other thing. Like, there's a civil war in Yemen. There's all the shit. Of
genocide.
Yeah, Armenian genocide. You know, all these different things that have happened throughout history. But back then, you weren't aware of it. You know, if you were growing up 40 years ago, whatever, you just knew there was the Soviets. You know, they're out there. Do your own thing. Avoid the Klan. You know.
For real.
Like that, like it was just
What makes it shady is that the media, like I read quickly earlier, there's Armenia's like in trouble again with
Azerbaijan.
Yep.
Yes. And
the media Armenians feel fucking disrespected yet again because again the Ukraine they call it they select when they want to pray for a country or pray for a part of the world, and it's like you're not seeing any of the Armenia stuff in the news right now, but you saw the Ukraine stuff not too long ago. Yes. And it sucks that we have to have this conversation because it's kind of like,
no issue is of a higher thing than everyone's suffering.
But I think that's the point that they're making is like, you know, they don't put a magnifying glass on, and what it all comes down to, unfortunately, is the fact that the U.S. It always has to do with the U.S. benefiting off. So I think the U.S. is benefiting off that other country.
Well, Ukraine has a long, like, you know, when you talk about the story of Ukraine, whatever. I mean, I have a coworker who like still lives there. Like I work, like he works. You know, we work remotely. He's still there working because he can't leave because he's still fighting age for the country. He's not in the forces, but he can't leave. And like the shit he tells me is fucking insane. Still has a sense of humor through it all. Insane, but like. You know, he's like, you know, you're talking about a problem that goes back to like the Cold War, dude. Like, you know, you talk about something that goes back so far. And that's why, like, naturally the U.S., because there's a connection to previous, you know, Cold War and the World War II type shit. Whereas the others, there isn't. And there should be more attention. But that's why you start to create more of a narrative in your mind. You're like, why isn't this getting attention? Why? Because you got media sources that they're going to pick and choose what they're going to put out. There's usually a political thing attached. I've seen people do political spins on Ukraine that like they don't even make like basically they're like blaming like Biden for Ukraine. They're like, this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for him. I'm like, are you really talking about a guy
that nigga can't even wipe his ass?
Like they're like, oh, this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Biden. I'm like,
come on.
Putin was a KGB operative during the Cold War. Are you telling me if Biden wasn't around, he'd be like, I'm not trying to reunite all Slavic peoples. Like, this is an ideology that has nothing to do with America, dude.
Yeah.
But that's what people do. They'll always do a spin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why we end up creating these narratives. Because like, this is so fucking crazy. Because it's not like you're able to just look at things for what's just happening. There's always, you know, the way you receive the info, the way it happens, this or that, whatever, all this other shit. You know, I mean, this is fucking the Queen of England just died. And people are like, I don't know, it's suspicious. She's 90-something. You don't think she could have just died?
I don't get that.
There's no way she just died. There's nothing. No way a 90-something-year-old woman just died. Betty White almost hit 100. She didn't hit 100. There must be something suspicious going on.
Like, oh, they're mad. Like, bro, people think that just because your wealth does not buy, does not buy health.
I'm surprised she lived as long as she lived. You know the shit that lady saw? But it's like, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. For anyone that's listening, it's like if you hate the royal family, I'm not saying like the royal family. I'm just saying the fact that she died. Like, there's nothing suspicious about it. She's 90-something years old.
Yeah.
And there were rumors for a long time that her health wasn't too good. That's why she threw, like, something to celebrate, like, her reign. You know, like, she announced it, like, earlier in this year. Like, you know, it was like a 70-something years of her reign or whatever the hell. It was like, you know, basically like a festival of, like, you know, talent and things in English culture. Like, all sorts of shows, festivities, things like that. But, like, you know, no queen has ever done that before. Why? One, no one's ever lived that long. Two, she probably knew it's my last chance.
Yeah.
I'm going to die.
Facts.
Old people do that shit all the time. I'm sure you got an abuelita that's like, oh, you're not going to see me next week.
Yeah.
My Vava, every fucking time I see her, she's like, you better come back and visit me because I'm going to die soon.
And I'm always like, don't talk like that. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, she's gone. She's going any day.
My mom's mother always says that. I mean, she's like 83. She's not lying. She may not be around. But like, I like to think,
but it's facts.
I like to think she gonna crank on. You know, she has like family members that have hit 100. I don't know if she's gonna hit 100. If she does, cool. If not, but like, you know, but there's always like a thing of how we perceive things. And that's a big part of it. People perceive things in a certain way, and the first thing to do is see how does this line up with my life, and how do you create a narrative of it all. And that's, you know.
It's so funny. I think about my daughter started going to school now, so now I'm thinking about like what they're teaching her. You know what the crazy thing that I thought about, she's only going to kindergarten, but
I'll kill another one.
Yeah, go ahead. The fucking Coke signs in the fall again. Watch. Now we're good.
Hey.
Teamwork right there.
Long drink, Finland.
Yeah.
This one's for you.
You sounded like
Kimi Räikkönen. This one's for you.
There we go. I'm going to act like I know who that is. Cheers.
Finnish Formula One driver. He's fucking crazy.
You sounded like Florence Pugh. That's who you sounded like. She's fucking fire. What was I going to say? In Florence Pugh in Black Widow. Not Florence Pugh in general because she doesn't have a Russian accent. I'm thinking about the fact that she's going to learn about 9/11.
Yeah.
Like 9/11 is going to be in her history books.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, I remember in high school, not really middle school, but in high school, the more that the internet started becoming more accessible and easy, it was easier for kids to afford computers, or you would get the computers donated by the school or whatever. That in high school, when I was in high school, you started hearing about conspiracy theories about what's in our history books.
Yeah.
I could only imagine the fucking conspiracy theories that are going to be coming out from our children's fucking history books.
Well, there's already like, I've heard shit that kids believe now, like goes around on whatever about 9/11 now.
Yeah.
That it's completely
and it's like
different.
you weren't even alive.
Yeah. And it's completely different from what we hit. Like back when we were kids, it was an inside job, you know, shit like that.
Now
whatever.
Now it's some crazy
now
shit.
They're like, it's shit that doesn't even make sense for if you were evil and ruled the world and want to do it. Some just be shit like, nah, it was actually a hologram and it went into the tower and then they blew it up. I'm like, just blow the fucking tower up. What do you got to do that and lie about a plane for?
Yeah.
Blow the whole fucking thing up and kill everybody. If you secretly rule everything, just blow it up. Why are you going to be like, nah, we got to have special effects and then we got to have edited special effects videos. but it's '01, so we need technology that's not around yet. Just fucking blow the building up.
I had a fucking 12-year-old kid.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then the funny thing about it is, I look at the comments and like people are like, oh, well, why isn't there that many videos? Because nobody had a smartphone then.
For real.
No one had a camera on their phone. Like, that doesn't click with them. And then not only that, bro, an engine went through the building and went into a convenience store and killed a bunch of people. So what? They blow up the building, was like, all right, I got a Boeing 737 engine I'm going to put inside a 7-Eleven. Come on, dude. Like, regardless of what you think what the motive is or whatever the hell the other shit, the other side of things, a fucking plane went into a building, man. People aren't stupid. They know what they saw.
I was there. It wasn't a hologram.
Fucking stupid. Like, just dumb shit.
New York was fucked up for quite some time. And I had a 12-year-old kid I was talking to the other day, fucking client. And he was like, he hit me with the whole steel beam shit.
Oh, Jeff, you can't melt steel beams.
I'm like, bro.
Old school meme.
You weren't even alive. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they weren't.
Like, you could have been easily ejaculated on your mom's back, but you're over here talking about shit from that I was alive for.
That people clearly saw. And then people are like, I don't know. It's just funny shit, like, just, I don't know. I mean, it's like, I'm an open-minded person. Don't get me wrong. I went through my bullshit when I was 16 years old of like falling down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories and shit. I went through deep depression because of it. I was like, what the fuck?
Me too.
They had that 2012 shit at the time or whatever. But then when I hit rock bottom.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, so that was stupid too.
Did you really like go through it off that shit?
I debunked all of it because what that led me to, like,
Did you feel, let me try to like make sure we're in sync right now. Did you feel like you had to debunk it? If not, you were gonna go crazy?
Yes,
that's how I felt.
I felt like I was tired of hearing people saying it. I felt like I was gonna go crazy. I knew there was some bullshit with History Channel's garbage they were putting on. Yeah, I knew I had to do something. Also, I had to do something because kids were committing suicide.
Yes,
that was a real thing.
Oh my!
And nobody was talking about it. Like, History Channel's over here putting on these things that's gonna happen. Kids are killing themselves. There's a girl that drank insecticide and killed herself.
Yes.
No one's doing anything about it. And I'm like, I need to do something about this. So I found a forum online. It's called Metabunk. It was like, it like debunks like just like online bullshit. Like kind of like a Snopes type deal, except it's like, whatever, shit like that. Like they just debunk stuff. Bullshit. And like, and other like places and people were just like, also doing their duty. And it was everything from college professors to just random average Joes to like all sorts of people just debunking shit. Like anything. Like someone could use the Bible as a reason. Someone who's literally a freaking expert on the Bible. Nah, that's bullshit because like whatever, there's no thing, whatever, that's garbage. People on freaking, people that there was a dude who's actually like part of Mayan studies in Mexico, a Mexican guy. He's like, no one ever said that. It was like that December 21st is like your January 1st. He's like, it's not that. He's like, white people just made that up. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Everything, the scientific reasons, all of it, why the History Channel shows were all bullshit. Every fucking reason they were saying basically was all lie and was all bullshit. And then when I realized at that time is like, but look how quick that shit traveled around the world and everyone just believed it. I'm like, so how many more things are like this? I learned something from that. And then, from there, I like apply that with like, the conspiracy theories and things like that. I'm like, all right, a lot of this stuff seems convincing. But then there's like shit that's like, you look into it and you're like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. You just learn to question things. Because what I find that some people do, and I learned that from like that time, and you did too, is like people will say, oh, I'm an open-minded person. But then you just give them the extreme that just isn't the mainstream, and they just automatically latch onto that. And it's like, you're not really open-minded. You're just going whatever is not the popular thing to say. So if someone says this is the right answer, you just go with the most extreme other answer because it's different. Yeah. Facts. And that's not really how it works. Like you're still being biased. Critical thinking is thinking and being like, okay, like, that's not it, but that's not it either. It's probably somewhere in the middle or something, or leaning, in a direction. So I learned about critical thinking. Yeah. And that's what brings us to like, how we talk about politics and things like that now. It's like you just got to think critically and not let your emotions get into it. Cause, that's what drove me to that shit. It's like when you get overwhelmed, you just hit a point.
It's funny because I was just talking about this my son's mother. 9/11 drove me to it kind of drove me to thinking that way, because 9/11, I always say 9/11 was one of the things living in New York that anxiety and depression is something that, from what I've learned from therapy, it's definitely a genetic thing, but it also gets brought on by traumas.
Yeah.
And 9/11 was one of the big traumas for me early, because I was in like second or third grade when it happened.
Yeah.
Where it gave me the first dose of, and I still have it to this day. I've worked very hard on it. It gave me the first dose of like that anxiety of what could happen.
Yeah.
Like always looking up in the sky, not wanting to go in planes, not wanting to be in taller buildings, which almost all New York buildings were taller. I would literally go into a fucking panic. That carries into literally what could happen in life, what could happen with relationships, what could happen with natural disasters, what could happen with 2012.
Yeah.
And I went into a whole rabbit hole just... Yo, I need to get to the fucking bottom of this, because I remember, it's funny you brought that up. I literally almost forgot about that. I remember reading an article about, the first article I read that was debunking 2012 was, all right, the person who wrote this article was basically like, we need to fucking chill out and put the facts out there, because kids are killing themselves over this.
Yeah.
Kids with access to the internet.
Yeah.
Who are also seeing... There's a fucking cute movie in Hollywood coming out called 2012.
Oh, yeah, that too.
You know what I'm saying?
And they made fake viral websites that made it look like they were actual scientific administrations, saying this was going to happen. Mm-hmm. They didn't put fucking Sony at any part of it, Sony Entertainment or whatever. Because it was supposed to be viral and cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fucking misinformation. Like, that's a point where I know some people are saying now, looking at this now, like, yo, how you not know? How'd you not know? You got to like, it was different. Like, it was just different. Like, they didn't.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Yeah, okay.
But like, it's just viral marketing work differently. Like, now when you do viral marketing, you want, like, it's a formula, right? Yeah. You grab their attention and then boom, this guy's album's coming out. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
Now,
they didn't fucking do that.
AKA now, Sony would be at the end of that. Back then, it wasn't like that.
Yeah. Now, if that was done today, they would have had the websites, all this other stuff, and then boom, a hashtag for the movie or a thing for the movie, because now you're like, oh shit, there's a trailer dropping for the movie. Oh, this guy's in the movie. You know it's a movie. They didn't do that. They just dropped that out there, and then when they would release the trailer, you could finally put 2 and 2 together. Right. But the trailer ain't coming for 2 months. It was just stupid shit.
I remember even when they remade The Omen. I don't know how it was out here, but there was billboards and buses that just said 6606.
That's the day I got my braces off.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. That's actually, I kind of laughed during that because I'm like...
Did they have that out here too?
Yeah. Yeah, it came out over here, and then when I got my...
Did they have like the did you see billboards?
There were ads in magazines and shit like that.
But there was like no website or anything. Same shit.
Yeah. Just dumb shit.
The viral stuff.
Like, they didn't even tell you what... You can't viral market for what no one knows what the fuck it is.
And I'm over
That's
here
garbage
Googling,
marketing.
And other shit will come up like, oh, the world could end 6606. Then I had that.
Yeah.
I think that stemmed from...
false prophets that can't read a Bible.
Remember Harold Camping?
Yeah,
Remember
that idiot too. Yeah, 2011. Every year he's like, "No, Jesus is talking to me. It's gonna happen this year." It's like, you know, there's a Bible verse that like warns people about guys like you. No, that doesn't apply to me. And then he died, and then his whole crew's like, "Oh no, I mean he's gonna come back."
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
What Bible are you reading?
Yo,
they were just crazy. That guy was
Derrick,
an idiot
you
too.
literally like brought something back out of me, because now I want to go back purposely and like look at this from grown up me's perspective. Like,
I don't even want to, because now it's so ridiculous.
It's so crazy.
But I don't even want to
stuff too. Like, I'm like, yo,
yeah, his was 2011.
2011. Mm-hmm. There was so many things that had me like, holy fuck. Remember, 2012 was scary because there was the bath salts thing.
Oh yeah,
that was around it was in 2011.
Yeah. That was
one of those years, and I was just like, yo, shit's getting kind of scary right now. Like, this might be true. I don't know. Like,
I just thought I was going to finish high school and die.
Yeah.
Like, a terrible death. Like, that's how shit had people convinced. And then, you know, you learn to think critically. And you realize it's not the case, but it takes its toll on you. And that's but, you know, I think what I got out of all that stuff is I learned to, you know, think a certain way. Facts, and I know, like, it sounds funny now. Like, I do laugh at it now. Like, telling everybody that's like, people are probably laughing at what we're saying. Yeah. But at the time, you don't know better. You're younger and all this other shit. But today, it gives you that ability to think critically. And I think that helps, especially with the way. And I always felt like politics would go the way they did at some point. Because I was like, the way these things spread around, I'm like, man, what if that starts happening with politics? And then it did. And the next thing you know, Obama wasn't born in America and his certificate's fake and all this other shit.
He's the Antichrist.
They did all this stuff. Yeah, they did all this stuff to hide his like. If you really were trying to destine Barack Obama to be president someday, don't you think you would have just made sure he was born in America in the first place? They're like, all right, man, we need a black guy to be president someday. We got this Barack Hussein Obama baby, but he's from Kenya.
Yeah.
Let's just fabricate documents to make him American. Why wouldn't you just get like a, any other dude?
Did you grow up in a religious household?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Like super religious?
Not insane religious. Like, bro, I like to use the term practically religious.
Super religious. So I went to one of those churches that were extreme to a point where like they were preaching about Obama being the Antichrist.
Oh my God.
And I look back on it and I'm like, how many more things, like they were wrong about one thing, how many more things they were doing the Harold Camping shit?
Yeah.
Like, yo.
And the thing is like
and it's never a Republican president. Like they're like they're very like,
it's like you definitely went after him because he was black and his middle name was Hussein. Yeah. I know it for a fact. There was no other reason why. Like, it's him. Why? Oh, because a verse that you can apply to anybody else. I actually like debating people that when I'm like, I read that Bible verse. I'm like, I bet you never even read it, right? You only read it online.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no. I'm like, there's 3 verses after. Did you read those that provide context?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I bet you did.
Oh my
I bet you really did.
Bro.
That's a fun pet peeve. Like, regardless of how you feel about whatever religious text, Bible, Quran, whatever. It's like, if you're going to quote something, you should probably know what you're quoting. It's like, I grew up in a religious household, so I read it Sunday school, things like that. But it's like people like throw a quote out there, and I'm like, that's not. Nope. That does not.
Ain't it.
Yeah, you just that is out of context.
I did a lot of bro. I went to fucking church. This is a crazy statistic about Jimmy Lucca's career in fucking church. I went to church literally for fucking, when I do the math, 15 years straight.
Okay.
Like, even when I was sick, these niggas was like, yo, go to church this Sunday. God's going to heal you. I could be dying from fucking something equivalent to COVID back then. They were like, go to church. Yeah. I don't feel like going. Go. He's going to heal you.
Yeah.
Go to church. You're going to feel better. I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah.
God puts fucking doctors and ibuprofen on earth. I don't got to go to church. I should just stay home and sweat it out. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, it was bad. Like, I remember my, I guess I should call her step-grandmother. She's a fucking bitch, by the way. But that's a whole other thing.
On the next episode. Coming next season.
I had an Undertaker action figure. I was like fucking like 9 or 10 years old, and she's like, "Don't play with that. That's the devil. You're inviting the devil in the house." Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, that's what's inviting the devil in the house."
I swear people did that with everything. There are people that are doing that with Pokemon. They're like,
yes,
it's satanic. I'm like, it's Japanese.
Bro,
it's Japanese. Fuck? It's satanic. It has nothing to do with that. The guy that made it is a Buddhist. What are you talking about?
Yo, Derrick is firing on all cylinders.
I am firing on all cylinders because I hate when people say stupid
Pokemon
shit.
was another one, though. Yeah, that's why I'm like, for no reason. The fuck?
Yeah, no reason
I remember wanting to go to Blockbuster and rent. Okay, not even buy. I wasn't asking them to buy it. I was just asking them to rent it. I wanted to rent Hey You Pikachu.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that fucking game?
Yeah.
And it was the biggest deal. I remember, like, they still took me to get it. If it was that big of a deal, don't fucking take me to get it.
Yeah.
But they still took me to get it, but they were busting my balls the entire time. Oh, this is what they're filling you with. This is how it starts. You're going to get possessed. And I'm over here. Next thing you know, I watched The Exorcist, and I'm, like, fucking crying at night because I think I'm going to get possessed.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing fucking Pokemon.
Yeah. I'm like, you tell me a game about cute little mouses and things with powers and fighting and whatever. You want to know what I got out of Pokemon as a kid? Be nice to animals.
Yeah.
That's actually what I got out of Pokemon. Yeah. Yo, animals are pretty dope.
God forbid, right?
Yeah.
God forbid.
Somehow that had to do with the devil. No, I'm pretty sure that's not the case. You can find, there's plenty of psychopaths online. People just didn't know better. I swear they believed anything you could fucking throw at them for no reason. What fucking Pokemon.
Views are all over the place. Hey, don't fucking kill a baby.
Yeah.
don't fucking kill a baby.
Yeah.
And don't play with Pokemon.
Yeah. Pokemon was definitely it.
Like, it's...
Yeah.
I don't understand where the views come from. Sometimes.
Especially at the time period when you consider time period. I'm like, yo, Columbine happened.
Yes.
But you're worried about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Like, niggas is shooting up schools. Let's go back to the school shooters.
Yeah. Fucking the dumb
niggas is
shit.
shooting up schools, but you're worried about me.
You're worried about me playing
Pokemon.
Playing Pokemon Yellow. I'm trying to level up my Squirtle. You think I'm evil? The guy's shooting up a school right now.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
They didn't have anything. Yeah. And there was real evil going on in the world. Yugoslavian war was going on at that point.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, we're worried about Pokemon.
Yeah.
All right, not the genocide in Yugoslavia.
It was around the same time, but like some nigga fucking decided, let's fucking drive planes into the Twin Towers. But I'm evil because I'm playing Pokemon.
Yep.
You're fucking 6 or 7-year-old or however old I was. My whole childhood was Pokemon.
I'm glad nobody tried that because my number one toy was Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah.
Right? So
you could
what are you
probably
gonna
find
do?
something.
What are you going to do? Oh, there's a
find
flame
something.
on the car?
Exactly.
Damn. Yeah, Mormons might not like the Hot Wheels.
I remember
logo
even
on it.
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero, really? People said
Ozzy
that was bad?
Osbourne song in there. Forget it.
Oh,
Hotel California.
Oh, Hotel
Forget
California.
about it. The whole I probably played the Guitar Hero game for a couple of days, right?
Yeah.
And then they didn't say anything. It was like there was a couple songs on there, and then Hotel California was on there, and then I got the look. And then they're like, "Oh, we gotta talk." It was always dramatic. "Oh, we gotta talk to you. That song is about hell."
You know what's funny is here's another fun thing. People add context to shit, and they never find out. Hotel California is a song about how like once you become like a celebrity or you like choose that life, you can't ever leave it.
Of course,
that's which is the you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Like right at the end.
Yes.
So I guess you could talk
California.
about social hell.
Yeah.
Right.
Social
That's what the
hell,
song's about. It's about like celebrity status and that it becomes like this thing, this subculture in of itself. That's what the song's about. But it's like it's funny how people took that and were like, oh, it's clearly about hell and how it's great.
Annoying,
and it's like, that's not what it's about. I heard someone else once say it was about, oh, no, because you said, relax the night, man. We are programmed to receive. It's about like robots and shit taking over the world. I'm like, that is not what a song's about. Like there's an obvious interview where they're like, yeah, it's about like Hollywood culture and celebrity status and how you get stuck in it. And no one could look that up. And it's like the interview's from like 78. You can look it up. It's not like hidden information. That's like listening to the song Africa by Toto and be like, oh, this is about some sort of like pagan ritual. That's not what it's about.
Yo.
Just about a guy going to Africa, dude. That's literally, that's the song. That's it.
Oh, shit, man.
People love adding context to shit.
It's
they
crazy.
really do. They love adding
crazy.
context to shit.
It's amazing, though. Derrick, man, this has been interesting.
This has been interesting. And now you're going to do comedy soon.
Yes.
So that's going to be exciting.
Hit a couple open mics together and
We're
shit.
some
We're
mics.
do a couple things.
Work on your shit.
Couple things.
Working on some stuff. It's going to be a really good time. I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You realize two things. Not to drag things out.
No. You're
It's
good.
like,
We're not on a time crunch.
Which
I was
is
just
good.
Acknowledging how
being
great
yourself,
this has been.
doing your thing. I find two things happen when guys are new of what they do. Two things when they're new. I mean, you're not really new because you've done it before.
I did it.
You've been out of the
before
game for a little bit.
pandemic. Yeah, I've been out of the game for a lot of it. It's been 2 years, about to be technically 3.
Yeah.
I can't believe the pandemic was like that long ago, but it was also not that long ago.
Yeah, that's how
But
long it had
that's
been
how
since I
long
was in
it's-
New York. So that was
that's
what crazy
crazy.
about being there. It's like Grizzly Pear. Wow, this is cool. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
fuck, it's been
fucking
years,
wild.
dude.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's been a little bit since I've done it. So I feel kind of newish again.
yeah, reborn in it.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, I find that when guys are new, people fall into like two traps. One is they start doing the same cookie cutter shit everyone's doing and don't develop a stage presence. So like, when people are new, a lot of people sound like a Twitter feed because they're just trying to do topical bullshit. It's the same thing. Like you'll go to a mic, everyone does a Queen's Dead joke. Then everyone does Victoria's Secret has like a model who's like has Down syndrome or something like that or autistic. I forgot what it specifically was, but like everyone will do a joke about that. And then everyone will do a joke about like 9/11. It'll be like the same cookie cutter shit every weekend. Now, don't get me wrong, topical comedy is a thing, But that's a brand in of itself. Topical comedy is like, if you're doing that, you have to commit to that. Guys are just like cookie cutter, like, just trying whatever to try and grab the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Another mistake I find people make is they think that, because they see Chappelle do it, they see Bill Burr do it, they think like they have to go up and try and be edgy as possible. And that's a stupid thing that a lot of guys do too, because they don't get that like Chappelle can go up and do what he does.
Because people like him.
Yeah, and he's Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
People like him. They know who he is. They know what they're getting. He's a legend. So even if he goes up there and he says something that you don't agree with, it's Dave Chappelle. You know where he's coming from. There's context.
You have to get there first.
Yeah. When you go up, not you, in general, you, hypothetical you, go up and you talk about raping your neighbor's cat. I've seen it.
Yeah.
No one's laughing. You get off stage like, oh, these fucking crowd, a bunch of fucking pussies, this and that. Dude, nobody knows if you actually want to rape your neighbor's cat.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many mentally ill people go up at open mics?
That's a good point. You can't do that as a new. Yeah, you can't.
Like people go up at open mics. Like literally, people don't know. You don't know who's actually like mentally ill going on stage.
If you're no one, they're gonna assume that's the case.
That would be stupid. That would be pretty. That'd be pushing it if you were known. Let alone, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I like.
But
to say,
people know. I like to think that people know who you are. People know Wole.
Yeah.
For example, people know fucking Black Sav. I've been doing the podcasting shit for a while, so I've literally given people an outlet to get to know me and know that I'm just a goofy motherfucker. You can't really take a lot of what I say seriously.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. I mean, no one should be going into comedy. I always say that nobody should be coming. That's where I like cover like two sides of things, where it's like, I find there's two issues with things sometimes. Like, you have people there are people that take shit too seriously. I've done a room before, gig I was hired for, and like I was like pretty like clean for the most part. I wasn't trying to, I just didn't have to. Like you read the room. They're having a good time. But someone, like I said a bit, someone liked it. They were laughing and they shouted something out like in agreement with it. And it was funny. They said it right, whatever. And I was just said that was fucking crazy. Because like what they described. It was basically I described something, they said it happened to them, and like said something afterwards that like showed like they're not making it up. It really happened to them. That's fucking crazy. Everyone's laughing. Someone complained that I said the fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Just one person. Now, mind you, there's, 160 something people in this room. I don't care about one person. Yeah. But I'm like, there's all these terrible things going on in the world. You're worried about the F-bomb? You got to find something to go cry about if that's the case.
No, that's a fact.
There are people that are sensitive about dumb shit, or they take things too seriously. If you got like a bit about whatever the hell it is, if someone says as a joke, so I pushed my husband down a flight of stairs. You're not supposed to take it seriously. It doesn't mean they're really saying that. Why are you like, that's messed up? Like,
have you ever listened to
this ain't a TED
I
Talk?
always tell people, have you ever listened to any Eminem song ever? It's the same shit. Just fucking take it.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
That's
it.
Just take it for what it is.
Want to see me stick 9-inch nails with each one of my eyelids?
Yeah, like he's not fucking doing that.
Yeah, it's not. It's just stupid hypothetical shit. But likewise, you got to read the room.
Yeah,
and I do find it's kind of crazy. I see a lot of guys will not understand, and I'm not shitting on any particular people or whatever. It's things I see people struggle with, where it's like, hey, like you got to remember, like people need to like you. Guys go on stage, they don't like, oh, I don't care what the crowd thinks. It's like, listen, you can't care about the crowd's judgment of you as a human being. You have to care about what they think of you because it determines if they're going to laugh or not. You have to be likable. If you go up there and you're just saying fucked up shit, just for the sake of saying fucked up shit, because you think that's going to make them say, ooh, whoa, he's so edgy, and you have no substance, there's nothing behind it, you have no stage presence, you haven't won the crowd over, you have no communication, you haven't engaged them, they don't like you. Oh, it's because they're what? No, it's because you did nothing. You haven't done anything. You haven't said anything yet. You got to get to that point, So that's the hardest part, is developing who you are, your stage presence. It really isn't just what you're saying, it's how you say it and the connection you've made to them before you say it.
Right.
That's the biggest part of it. That's the hard part. That's the part of comedy. It's like very hard to convey to people because people say something is funny, but like there's a lot of like really iconic comedians. I'm sure if you were to just write down their set, like put it on like a script and you were to read it, it wouldn't be funny.
No,
it's the way they're saying it, the way they connect it to you. That's what makes it funny. That's what people don't get. There's a connection that you cannot really quantify. Like you can't put it down to a thing of how you talk to them collectively as like an audience. It's crazy. It really is. It's a crazy thing. It's something about it that you can't, and that's what you develop once you write your stuff. Is when you have solid stuff, you have to make that connection to people. That's what determines the rest.
Facts. My boy, to not I have kids already, but to not creating any school shooters.
Not creating any school shooters for sure.
No.
No school shooters. If your kids are messed up, you shouldn't have guns in the house anyways, bro. Lock them up.
Facts.
Gun safety to end the pod.
Do you want kids to wrap it up or no?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I do want kids. You know why? Some people say this shit, like, whatever. I'm gonna try and keep this real brief. I hate when people are like, I want to have kids because, like, I want to be, like, you know, having the free time to do my own thing, whatever. And then they got, like, 8 dogs and they can't do nothing. Like, I have friends, like, they're like, I'm not tied down with kids. I'm like, you got to wake up at a certain time. You got to be home at a certain time. You can't be out for more than 2 hours. I'm like, sounds like you got kids. Actually, sounds more specific than having kids. But I do want to have kids because, like, you know, I want to be able to, like, you know, contribute something, you know, to another generation.
Facts.
And also, there's a lot of stupid ass people out there. So smarter people or like rational people should probably have some kids.
Exactly.
Put them out there, man. Exactly. Contribute, or else it's gonna be whatever. But I want to contribute something to another generation. It'll be that. I think I'll get something out of it. I think I'll be an all right dad. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. The first couple months are kind of rocky. Like I remember, to also keep it brief. I remember, and it's different too. Like girl dad shit. When I had my daughter. Anytime she cried, I was all over it. Like, oh, baby, like, you know, what's wrong, whatever. Like, she'd be changed, fed, all of that. She's still crying. I'm like, oh, calm down, whatever. With my son, I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You got changed. You got fed. What the fuck else could be? Shut the fuck up. So it's funny. Like, you have different, but there's things that I would do with him that I'm probably, like, I can't complain about my daughter too much because she's kind of like tomboyish. I don't know if 2022 that's like politically incorrect.
Well, how old is she?
She's 5.
She's 5?
She loves wrestling. She loves going to Yankee games, all of that. So I got lucky with her. But my point is, like, I treated my daughter a certain way when she was a couple months old. My son, same thing. But kids are awesome, bro. I don't know where I was going with that, but fucking.
No, yeah, I feel that way. Because the thing is, like I think when you're younger, it's easier to say that way. But you're like, I talked to a guy. I used to work with a guy who was like stereotypical, like imagine like your typical, like stereotypical, like hard ass white dude from like the 70s and shit like that. Like this guy was like 60-something. He still had long hair, like it was all gray, but like, you know, comb back, shit like that, looking like he was in a band.
Back then,
you know, and he never had kids, and like he had. Like this guy's, you name it, he's done crazy shit. Like he went to Vietnam, all the crazy, freaking doing cocaine, doing, you know, wheelies on motorcycles, all your typical like late 20th century crazy shit. And I was like, you got any regrets? And he's like, I should have had a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. He's like, because I'm like 60 something. He's like, I'm about to retire. He's like, dude. He's like, you know, like, yeah, I can go travel, I can go do things. He's like, but as you get older, you get a little like you kind of get life from having. You know, like kids to like see what they're doing, see the stuff, like you're giving something over there. He's like, I don't have that now. He's like, all right, yeah, I can go to, you know, I can go to Bali if I want. He's like, you know, it'd be nice to be able to like call on my son and be like, dude, I'm in Bali. Like, we should go to Bali someday, or you should come here and tell me about what you do, whatever. Like, I don't have that. It's nice to have that as you get older. So that kind of like, you know, kind of sealed the deal for me. I'm like, yeah, this man's like, you know, if this crazy bastard's saying it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
A white dude in that ballpark.
Like, just like, not like, fuck it up, you know, everything in life. You know what I mean? He's saying it. So.
My boy, I appreciate you coming through.
Thanks for
having me. I'm sure there's going to be a couple more.
This was a lot of fun.
Probably have like a fucking a podcast of our own. You know what I'm saying? Long, tan, and handsome or some shit like that.
I might have to consider that. I might have to consider that.
All right, my G.
Take it. Fucking scumbag.